Live from the King's Building in Monrovia, Broader Buchanan Street, this is ABC 105.1 FM. Exactly 60 minutes on the flip side, 6 o'clock. A fresh presentation right here. Another edition. And what a way to start a brand new week. Good evening and welcome to another edition of the program Traffic Talk. A regular feature presentation. Been brought to you through the kind courtesy of the Atlantic Broadcasting Corporation, ABC Radio 105.1. A program designed to talk traffic-related issues. A program designed as well to remind of our drivers about those driving practices, the right foot ones, and those illegal ones. And so wherever you are and however you are listening, perhaps stuck in the traffic, be a driver, a rider, once you are a motorist, this is your program. And so my name is Martin Richard Fagan Sr., your regular host and presenter. But let me just appreciate the effort of my fellow colleague who sat in for 2 editions, my girlfriend Clark, over the course of last week. However, I'm here to make sure that we talk these issues as it relates to our traffic. And for today's edition, we bring you our usual things. That is a theme song currently being played. And we gave you a breakdown of the program. As usual, we gave you our driving safety quotation, followed by our safety tapes. And due to the fast, our correspondent is always busy in the evening hours. So we are hoping today that you out there could be our correspondent by filling us in with those information that we need from the traffic show in case there are traffic. But as usual, we do know that is always traffic sometimes in some parts that we know about, always within this city center, this urban part of Liberia. There's always a traffic around the Broad area, starting right about now, going down towards the Gabriel Talkers Bridge. There's always a traffic headed from Vittown towards the Gabriel Talkers Bridge. There's a traffic always around the 20th Street area there in Sinkhall, and going down the hills at the Tottenham Boulevard, precisely at the Ministry of Health and the Tottenham and the 2nd Boulevard Junction. There's also a go slow at the ELWA because of the road construction work being done. There's always traffic along the Roberts International Highway, especially around the Tinkers Village Rehab area because of the road construction work being done. So brace yourself if you are headed that way. So So stick and stay. We'll be back and give you our driving safety quotation for the day, followed by our safety tips, and then the phone lines will be open for you to participate. Remember now, this is a 45 minutes presentation. So welcome back to the program right here, Traffic Talk, so to speak. It's the program. The time is 20 minutes past 6 o'clock. And for our driving quotation for the day, it says, drive as if every child on the streets were your own. The driver is silver when the roads are dry. The roads are silver when the driver is dry. That is our safety quotation for the day for our drivers. Remember, you are an individual with family, and some of us has our parents, and we have kids. So once you are behind our steering wheels, always remember to be a helping hand to this vulnerable citizen that includes kids. They can be yours as well. The driver is silver when the roads are dry, and the roads are silver when the driver is dry. When the driver is not under the influence of alcohol or other substances, then it's okay for he or she to drive. But that's our safety quotations for the day. Stay tuned now to read you the safety tips for the day. Stay tuned. So let's now bring you our safety tips for the day. We will read them out and explain the importance of them. Obey all traffic rules and signs as a driver. Why is it important? Because that is your guide. It helps you be a better driver. When a driver observes all traffic rules and signs, you show the differences between you and other drivers we consider as jackrabbit drivers, those ones who just don't pay attention to routes and traffic signs. With that, you always find passengers wanting to ride with you because they know that you're always aware of your surroundings, and your surrounding has to do with the signs and respect for traffic rules. Slow down, never be in a hasty move. As a driver, slowing down is something you need to practice at all times. Slowing down at intersections, slowing down at regular those speed zones that are necessary to drive slow. And what are the school speed zones area? It has to do with school zones, hospital zones, residential area, also at intersections, at a T or multiple crossing points. One is an intersection, you have to slow down always. The reason you have to slow down at intersection in neighborhoods and at the hospital is two reasons. One, at times kids are crossing from one point to another, showing kids you are in a residential area. And in the school zone, kids sometimes are out to play on a recess, showing kids the school is not been fenced. Or sometimes after school, they are trying to get home. Or during school time, they are trying to get to class, and some of them are always in a rush. It's always necessary to slow down in those various speed zones. As a driver, slowing down helps you to protect lives and property and put you at the edge of being a better driver. Don't drive under the influence of alcohol and drugs. And this one we all know. Alcohol changes the appearance of someone and changes the attitude, and so is the other hard substance. So as a driver, it's always a tedious job to do because you are driving, you're always attentive. Driving on the influence of those two would not make you as sharp as you should be as a driver. So remember, always to drive being sober. Once you are sober, you will take those decisions and you will calculate well as a driver. So never drive under the influence. Never say I'm going to cut one small shot for the road, because that is not something that works in line with driving. It is prohibited on the law. For your own safety, it's not right. And our next safety tip has to do with our motorcyclists and our pen riders. Those ones that just turn abruptly within the traffic only because they want to get passenger. We all know the cost of living is hard, and the quest for success is immense on this generation. But please, your safety, whenever you're in that moving object, matters, and that of the pedestrian and other road end users are in your hands. So whenever you do an abrupt turn within the traffic, it endangers the life of others. Motorists, could be your taxi, a bike behind you, or a guy ahead of you. Based upon your wrongful calculation of turning abruptly, it could be an accident, and you wouldn't want that happening, because you will be causing problem for your own moving object, destroying somebody else's object as well, and you'll be going some wasteful spending, and at times you might take a life. So turning abruptly in the traffic is unnecessary. All you have to do, look left, make sure your rear and ahead views are clear, make sure there is not, let the driver in the back give you the go ahead, or the guy on the opposite lane gives you the go ahead before you turn within the traffic. If it's no way, you just go somewhere else and you can be able to turn smoothly in an environment where it's necessary to turn. Always observe the crosswalk while driving. The reason being, the crosswalk is there to aid pedestrians across from one point to another, especially on the boulevard or these 2-lane or 4-lane roads, or at these multiple crossing points. So you as a driver, just apply this to yourself. Whenever you move from behind those steering wheels or in that vehicle or that moving object, at a point in time you become a passenger that will have to cross the road to another point. So if you just cannot help others, tell me, will you want somebody to respect you when you're in the crosswalk? So learn to aid people on the crosswalk, because at a point in time, that pedestrian may be your mother, your father, or your sister, or even your kid. And another driver will use that discretionary power to help them cross. So always respect the crosswalk, because that's the only point on the road that drivers, that pedestrians have to cross from one point to another. And this last driving tip has to do with, especially when there is traffic congestion in the mornings and in the evening hours, you always find out that our drivers, most especially those in the 30s, or some taxi drivers who go about violating, they go about riding on the opposite lane or driving on the opposite lane, which is wrong. So we don't have 3 lanes roads here, we have 2, and so driving on the opposite lane is something not right to be done. It's against all driving traffic rules and laws. So once you are caught, tell me, how do you appeal to the policeman saying you are driving on the opposite lane? It's not right. At times you are moving at a velocity, and another car on that opposite lane is moving at a velocity, and then when your two of you collide, it becomes an accident. So please, be patient, stay within your rightful lane. What the Almighty Allah has for you, you will certainly get whenever you are patient. Don't let the passenger tell you that they are in rush to get to work. He or she should have gotten up earlier to be in time than on time. And to our officials cutting those practices, lead by example. And one person we always applaud on this platform for those practices are the AFL, precisely the Chief of Staff, the Defense Minister, and these AFL guys who always drive in the queue, regardless of how long the traffic is. So the time is 28 minutes on the flip side. 6 o'clock. The program is Traffic Talk. And Traffic Talk is a regular feature presentation brought to you through the kind courtesy of the Atlantic Broadcasting Corporation, ABC Radio 105.1. I take a breather. When I come back, the phone lines will be activated. So take down the numbers: 0777 105 100, 0555 105 100. Those are the numbers. Again, 0777 105 100 and 0555 105 100. We'll take a breather with our team song, and when we come back, the phone lines will be open. But let them still, you can still put to your calls, and once they come through, we'll pick them up. Stay tuned.
Lord, can you listen to us now? And the whole world here is crying out. It's after the
Lord, listen to us now. Help us that we may never lose our ground. Lord, listen to us now. Hear us, let everybody hear the sound.
What they got now? What they got now? What they got now? What they got now? Let's go. What they got now? Yo, kids who are in the Javano, hitting the Tabino, Sayabin, who will the Falano, 200 them at the time.
Yes. Good evening, you live on Traffic Talk. Your name and where you calling from? Who am I speaking to?
Okay, I'm Maxwell, calling from my railway office. It's about to leave work.
Okay, Mr. Small. So tell me, what's happening within the traffic where you are? What you notice there? What do you see from where you are? You say you're around the rail line area, right?
Yeah, sure.
Well, let's just talk about the road construction work being done there. What's the progress been made so far from what you see?
Okay, judging from what I've been seeing over the past months,
Okay.
to be honest, the guys are actually doing well.
Okay.
But one observation I have, especially for the marketers or
Right.
marketeers that are here,
Yeah.
you see, the people have not completed the road yet,
Right.
and they started selling back on the main quota, which of course that shouldn't be a problem. But now the road is spacious enough, but then they leave the entire sidewalk
Right.
or half of the sidewalk. It can in the middle, creating that traffic jam again.
Right.
So,
I saw that
don't
this
know.
morning myself as I drove
I
to
don't
come to town.
understand what the people really want. So what we have city police or the LNP that at least push these people back, that we can have a free
Mark-
flow of traffic.
Mark, there is also another factor. You know, they have this steel beam being constructed there for them to sell beyond the steel beam. Do you notice that they have started to take those steel beam off to sell them to create the atmosphere to get back on the road? That's how much we embrace development here, yeah?
Yeah, so I really don't understand. So I mean, we just have to figure out what things better.
But how's
I
the
mean-
traffic there right now that you notice? How's the traffic from where you are?
Oh, no. The traffic is kind of flowing. It's kind of flowing. It's okay. There is no jam except for the major street lights, the red lights. Yeah, but it's okay.
Okay, thank you so much for being resourceful to the program. I hope others can email you your example to call in. Thank you.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
All right. The voice of our first caller there, calling from the red line area. And, you know, he talked about something that I noticed this morning. You know, when I heard that the road has been open to the public, some parts of the road in Raleigh was like open. And this morning while driving to pass through town, because it's much shorter when you're coming from the Mount Barkley end, not to use the Zizi community or that of the Parkopin Belt to get to town. It's shorter to pass straight through and get to Dupont Road or Police Academy. But then you find out that the guys are still along the road. The street vendors are still selling close to the road. I don't know, is this a thing? That if you don't sell close to the road, people won't know where to find you to go and purchase those commodities that they need. And then they put these iron bars to have them been selling in the back of those iron bars. It will surprise you to know that these very same people started to destroy these things just to have them coming closer to the road, which of course is wrong. This is Liberia. 0555 105 100. 0777 105 100. Those are the numbers that put you through on Traffic Talk. If you are a KK guy, a taxi driver, stuck within the traffic, fill us up. Traffic Talk is your program. Bring us up to speed as to what the traffic is like within your area. Let's talk to this caller. Good evening. Yes, your name and where you calling from? Okay, Freeport. How is Freeport in terms of the traffic right now? When you say slow, can you just enlighten me more on how you do mean slow? Is there a traffic congestion there? Why is it the cause? Is it because of the potholes or what? What system you think the police put in place? What system are you talking about? Do you see the presence of a police officer there? Is there a presence of a traffic officer there to direct the traffic? Okay. Yeah, you were in flight. Right. The KK guys are always in the habit of disrupting traffic and violating a lot of times. Yeah. Right. If the army move on those people, you'll be the same one saying, "Oh, our brother and sister." My man, like Traffic Talk here. Let's stick with the traffic, yeah. But let's hope the Rifle Authority, the Public Safety Department, Traffic Department at the Liberian National Police, they are listening. Okay, thank you very much. 0777 105 100. 0555 105 100. The program is Traffic Talk, your number one road safety and traffic program on ABC Radio 105.1. Fill us in like he did, saying there's a go slow at the Freeport area, and he said the traffic has been attributed to lots of our KK guys always creating this traffic hazard. Let's talk to the caller. Good evening. I'm fine. Your name and where you calling from? Moses Z Black Community. What? Too bad he's off. Like my colleague always on the entertainment show says, 5 minutes finish. 0555 105 100. 0777 105 100. Call us and tell us and replay the traffic, a congestion. Maybe there was an accident you noticed today, you can bring to our attention, or whatever it is that has to do with the traffic. This is the platform that we can discuss these things on. Let me say big ups to my producer, Editor Smith, who's making sure that our social media feeds have been brought to you guys. For those of you viewing us on Facebook, YouTube, and those listening via our Radio King app, or that of the Orange Radio app, I'd like to say good evening to you from Monrovia. Time is not really a friend of us on this platform, and that 6:43, we'll be bringing this presentation to an end. So those of you wanting to be a part, all you have to do is just call us on 0555-105-100, 0777-105-100, and quickly we recap our quotation for the day and read out our safety tips just to remind you of today's safety tip and driving quotation. Stay tuned. And our safety quotation on today's edition says, drive as if every child on the streets were your own. The drivers is safer when the roads are dry, and the roads are safer when the driver is dry. Our safety tips are: obey all traffic rules and signs. And to our keke guys, please learn to be patient. You guys are always one of the major contributors to traffic hazards within our central and urban areas. You guys just turn abruptly, park anywhere you want to do, park anywhere you want to, turn anywhere you want. If another colleague of yours mistakenly crash your keke, you wouldn't want to go off the road to settle that. You want to be in the middle of the road and settle those things. You guys are big contributors to traffic in this town. You guys got to stop that. You guys are in the numbers. We do appreciate the help you guys give us to go places where the taxi or the other cars cannot go. We do appreciate that. But in the same vein, let's do things the right way to get the right result. Don't drive under the influence of alcohol and drugs. Slow down. Slowing down means slowing down at every intersection. Do not turn abruptly in traffic. This goes to taxi drivers, keke guys, and all of the motorists. Just don't turn abruptly in the traffic. Always observe the crosswalk while driving. The reason is you help others to cross from one point to another. And do not use the opposite lane. It is wrong. It is against our driving rules and laws. There is no third lane in Liberia. All of our roads are always two lane, two coming, and some are just one lane road. Showing kids those feeder roads we consider as one lane roads. So please, never use the opposite lane except those vehicles charged with this responsibility, like the ambulance, the fire service, the police, showing kids they are on emergency pursuit, the executive, the vice president, and those in authority are allowed to carry serene that move and drive under emergency situations. So these are the ones to do these things. Not a common taxi driver, or even if you're in the government going home, man, you are a regular person working in the government does not give you the edge to drive on the opposite lane. These things you don't see them outside, and we go outside. So let's try to apply these things in our society to do things differently. But take for instance, you're running on another speed, and a driver who's not paying attention, not looking ahead of you, or maybe had that bad sight. Before he or she makes up his mind to be focused on you, bam, that's an accident. And you will be wrong because you are not on your lane. So please drive on your lane. The opposite lane is wrong. And so on that note, we'd like to draw down the curtains on today's presentation. Let's hope all of our drivers can take yield. All of our motorists can respect all traffic rules. Be different within the traffic. What God has for you as a report money, show in case you are into commercial driving or riding. What the Almighty God has for you, you will definitely get. My name is Martin Fagans. I'll talk to you tomorrow evening on another presentation. Goodbye.